Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another informative video on my entire Japan day-to-day itinerary. Recently I had been to Japan for 15 nights and 16 days. About 30 to 40 people pinged me on Instagram and on the YouTube comments asking for this video. You guys basically wanted to know what I did for 15 nights and 16 days, how I planned my trip, what was the cost of the entire trip. I'll try to put a breakdown and I'll try to explain all the small details as well, guys. So just a disclaimer that this video is going to be lengthy because I'm going to explain everything about my trip, and I'll also suggest where you can save money and how you can plan your trip as well. So before we get started, as you already know, 98% of you who are regularly watching my videos are non-subscribers. So kindly hit that subscribe button and support my channel. So the first thing, guys, Indians need a visa to travel to Japan. So the visa cost for Indians to Japan would be 1800 rupees. I've already made a dedicated video on how to apply for Japan visa. It is very easy, and even though it's a sticker visa, it can be easily you can easily get Japan visa, no problem. It's not as difficult as Schengen visa. Schengen visa is slightly difficult. Japan visa process step by step is explained in this video. If you follow this video, you will be able to get your Japan visa. The second thing is the flights. Now I've made a complete list here, guys, so that I don't forget any point. So I'll be looking at my list and explaining you because there is a lot of information to give in this video. Second thing are the flights. Now flights and hotels are the most expensive things when it comes to any foreign trip. Flights costed me 47,000 rupees from Bangalore to Tokyo, Tokyo to Bangalore, Japan Airlines. So I specifically looked for this flight because there is no layover, there is no transit, there is no time waste and nonsense in any country. That was my primary goal. This flight actually was around 61,000 rupees. Why I got it for 47,000 rupees is because of Regalia Gold points. Now, if you don't know how to redeem your Regalia Gold points, I've made a dedicated video. Watch this video if you have Regalia or Regalia Gold or Diners Club. The process is same. Watch this video, understand how you can reduce the cost of your flights. So, flights costed me around 47,000 rupees. Direct flight from Bangalore to Tokyo, Tokyo to Bangalore. The next thing is the hotels. Now, hotels is 15 nights, 16 days. So, I spent 15 nights on hotels. That is my golden route, that is Tokyo to Osaka to Hiroshima to Fukuoka and back to Tokyo. So considering there were a few hotels of 10,000 rupees as well, few hotels 5,000, 4,000 as well. So I took an average of around 7,000 rupees for the hotels. So the entire hotels costed me around 1,05,000 rupees per couple, but on an average for one person, because this entire thing I'll try to explain it in terms of one person, guys. So hotels, obviously two people can stay in the hotel, and hotels for 15 nights into 7,000 rupees, around 7,000 rupees will cost you 1,05,000 rupees. 1,05,000 rupees divided by 2, you can roughly calculate around 50,000 rupees of hotels per person for 15 nights. Again, it depends on which hotel you book, which area you stay. I'm going to talk about that as well in this video. So please listen carefully. And the next thing is the bullet train cost. Now bullet train cost, my route, how I went is, now I landed in Tokyo from Bangalore, Tokyo to Osaka, bullet train, then Osaka to Hiroshima, bullet train, and Hiroshima to Fukuoka was also bullet train. And from Fukuoka to Tokyo, bullet train was available, but it was a bit expensive, and already I had 3 experiences of bullet train. So I didn't take bullet train from Fukuoka to Tokyo, I took a flight from Fukuoka to Tokyo. So bullet train cost, if I just split it out, Tokyo to Osaka costed me 9,728 rupees, Osaka to Hiroshima costed me 7,200 rupees, and Hiroshima to Fukuoka costed me 3,000 rupees. Together, you can roughly say 20,000 rupees was the cost for bullet trains. Now you may ask, why bullet trains? Bullet trains is something that you should experience when you go to Japan because it is not available in India. And bullet train travels at around 300 to 320 kilometers per hour, and going on a Shinkansen, which is nothing but bullet train, is a different level of experience. Now, when you go to Japan, you should never ever miss traveling in a bullet train. Now, if you go to Japan and miss bullet trains, then you have missed something really huge, guys. Small example, if you book a package tour, you see the package itinerary, bullet trains will not be there in the package, even though the package cost is 2 or 3 times more than what I'm going to say. It is very expensive, and it is not at all there in any famous package tours that I have seen myself. When I went through a few itineraries, there was no bullet trains at all. So bullet train is next level experience. You must at any cost travel in a bullet train when you are in Japan, otherwise you have missed really the OG thing in Japan, guys. So we covered visa 1800 rupees, flights 47,000 rupees, hotels 1,05,000 per couple, 50,000 per person, and bullet train 20,000 per person. Now comes the most important thing, but before I explain day to day, next thing is the food. Now food has different experiences in Japan, and you will at least spend 1,500 rupees per day, Indian rupees per day in Japan for food. If you are going alone, or if you're going per couple, it will be 3,000 rupees. If you're going as an individual, again the calculation is based on individual. So as an individual, you will be spending 1,500 rupees into 16 days or 15 days, which will be around 24 to 25,000 rupees per person will be the food cost on an average. Now few days you may spend more on food, few days you may spend very less on food, but on an average I've just kept 1,500 rupees, 500 rupees for 500 rupees per meal, 500, 500, 500. If you're eating 3 times a day, it will be around 1,500 rupees per day into 15 to 16 days, which will roughly come around 24 to 25,000 rupees. Now comes the biggest part of the trip, that is day trips. Every single day I'll explain what I did in Japan. So the day trips, whatever I'm going to talk about, I have added the links in the description below, guys. Okay. So you can just click on those links and book the same tours, because I've compared multiple websites and I found the cheapest tours, great deals, especially during this cherry blossom season. There were 30 to 50% discounts in the links which I've added in the description below. Kindly check those links, and if you book from those links, you will be eligible for another 5 to 10% of discount on top of whatever discount you are getting. So I'm not going to repeat it again. Click on the links in the description below. I'll remind you at the end once again. So day one, my flight from Bangalore was at 2:45 a.m. It landed Tokyo at around 1:30 p.m. Tokyo, Japan is 3.5 hours ahead of Bangalore or Indian Standard Time. So if the time in India is 10 o'clock, the time in Japan is 1:30 p.m. 10 a.m. plus 3.5 hours is 1:30 p.m. So the flight was 8 hours plus 3 hours of change of time. So my flight landed around 1:32 p.m. So once my flight landed, I have to clear the immigration. Now there is a lot of things you have to know about immigration. I've made a dedicated video about immigration. Please go through that. So once you clear the immigration, we reached a hotel around 5 p.m. depending upon all the traffic, and to change the metros in between, to walk towards the hotel, it was almost around 5 p.m. So on the first day, just relax. We explored Uniqlo. Uniqlo is one of the famous shopping centers in Japan. It is a Japanese brand basically. It is also available in India. It's uniqlo.in or website. Uniqlo is still, app is still there. You can buy clothes from there as well. So we just hanged around areas like Shinjuku and Shibuya. We didn't see much because first day, just come to Japan, relax at your own pace. We had some ramens at OG places and we tried local Japanese food. That was basically first day out of 16 days. So the day 2 is the real deal that begins. And day 2, we went to the magnificent Instagrammable Mount Fuji tour experience. In Mount Fuji tour experience, as you know, when you think about Japan, when you think about Tokyo, one thing that is marketed very, very well is Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is very, very beautiful to watch, guys. Trust me. It was the most amazing tour out of all the tours in Japan. I really enjoyed, and give this Mount Fuji tour #1 place. In Mount Fuji tour, you can see the Arashiyama Sengen Park, which is nothing but the famous pagoda you see in all the posters of Japan. And we went to Oishi Park, Lawson's Viewpoint, and the famous cherry blossom spots on the way and back from Mount Fuji. So they will not only take you to the places I just said. If you also check the link in the description below, there are more number of places, guys. This video will become even more lengthy if I talk about all the places. So I've just given you a heads up. Just blindly go to this tour. Trust me on this. It is very, very amazing tour. And along with this tour, they will also take you to the famous cherry blossom spots when going to Mount Fuji and coming back from Mount Fuji to Tokyo. So day 1 complete. You will start around 7:30 a.m. and you will reach around 7:30 p.m. So have dinner, explore a bit of nightlife if you still have the energy, and day 2 is complete. Day 3, again I spent basically 4 nights in Tokyo. The first night was relaxing. The second one was Mount Fuji tour. The third day basically was Team Lab's Borderless Art Museum in Tokyo. Now, I don't want to explain anything about this museum because it is so beautiful and it is so well planned. The light illuminations is excellent and everyone should add Team Labs to their bucket list. Now, there are Team Labs Planets and Team Labs Borderless. There are two different things. One is outdoors, one is indoors. You can choose accordingly, guys. We went to the indoor one, Team Labs Borderless. Why I went to the indoor one is because this is recently built and recently made, and this has become now more popular than Team Labs Planets. So the reason was to go to Team Labs Borderless. So Team Labs Borderless will eat up around 3 to 4 hours. And the next place we went from Team Labs was Sensoji Temple. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know if it's Senjoshi or Sensoji Temple. I think it's Sensoji Temple. Now this Sensoji Temple is extremely touristy place. You will find a lot of crowd, and even to take one photo it is highly impossible. And why I suggested this Senjoji Temple is not only the famous touristy landmark in Tokyo, but also the market around the Senjoji Temple is a great feast for all the food lovers. Whether you are non-vegetarian, whether you are vegetarian, or whether you are a vegan, there is food for all types of cuisines, guys. So when you speak about food or when you want to explore food, there is at least it will take you 2 to 3 hours minimum to explore the entire market. Now, as soon as you're done with Senjoshi Temple and exploring the market, it will be around 4 to 5 p.m. At 5 p.m., we went to the famous Shibuya Crossing. Now, Shibuya Crossing and Shinjuku's Godzilla statue is one of the iconic landmarks after Mount Fuji when it comes to Tokyo. So, these spots are never to be missed. Whether it's Shibuya Crossing, there is hundreds, maybe thousands of people sometimes crossing at once, and you also have seen the movie Tokyo Drift. And if you have observed Tokyo Drift, there is a huge crossing, and the same experience, because I am a huge fan of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and I recalled all those memories by going to the famous Shibuya Crossing. Try to go during the night times because the view is 10 times more than what you can experience during the day. And Shinjuku's Godzilla statue. So this Godzilla statue again is very famous. It is the most Instagrammable content, I can say. Entire Tokyo is basically Instagrammable content. And if you spend time in Shibuya and Shinjuku, it will be night complete and day 3 complete. Day 4, we spent the entire day in Disney Sea. Now you might have heard of Disneyland, which is there in France, US, and then Hong Kong. I also went to Hong Kong when it comes to Disneyland. But Disney Sea is only there in Japan in the entire world. Disney Sea is not there anywhere. So it is something that should not be missed, guys. So it is something that should not be missed. And you must definitely go to Disney Sea. If you go in the morning, at least around 6:30 or 7, if you keep your spot, because there will be thousands of people waiting in the line to enter Disney Sea. So if you go wait in the spot around 6:30 or 7 o'clock, you will enter Disney Sea and you will only come back after 9:30, which the light show happens at around 9:30. Same in Hong Kong, but this was next level. So once you complete the night show, by the time you are back to your hotel, it will be 11 or 12 p.m. So no chance of exploring anything on this particular day. So day 4, Disney Sea complete. Now day 5, we took a bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka. Tokyo to Osaka bullet train, 500 kilometers something, which is covered in 2 hours 15 minutes. The same 500 kilometers, if you want to go from Bangalore to Hyderabad, it will take you 1 night journey. So the 1 night journey's distance in a bullet train will take you around 2 hours 15 minutes. So I went from Tokyo to Osaka, and in Osaka, as soon as I reached the hotel, I planned in such a way that 3 p.m. is the check-in. I go at 3 p.m. So once I checked into my hotel at 3 p.m. you can explore the area called Namba. Namba is a very famous area in Osaka, and instead of keeping base in Kyoto, I kept the base in Osaka. You stay in an area called Namba, you will get reasonable hotels, and that is the most happening area in entire of Osaka. And similarly, the place to stay in Tokyo will be either Shinjuku, Shibuya or Asakusa. So we stayed in Asakusa because the hotels were a bit less compared to Shibuya and Shinjuku, which is like MG roads and Brigade roads of Bangalore. And once we reached Osaka, you must visit Rikuro's uncle's cheesecake. You've seen this viral cheesecake, dancing cheesecakes on Instagram. The cheesecake originated from here basically, and this is an OG place in entire Japan. Even the locals travel from very far places to eat in Rikuro's uncle's cheesecake. So once you see the Rikuro's uncle's cheesecake, there is a famous temple. I'll try to put the name here, guys, because it is difficult to pronounce. This temple is very close to this cheesecake place, and we went there about 3 to 4 p.m. I think we spent 1.5 hours. It was a nice place. It was very it was a very chilly place. There was a lot of tourists and it was very windy. The environment and atmosphere was excellent when we went to this place, guys. So do not miss this temple, and this temple is very prominent among local Japanese. So do visit this temple. It is also one of the most iconic places to visit in Osaka, and it's a very, very touristy place. So once we completed this temple, it was around 5 to 5:30 p.m. and I wanted to see sunset in Osaka's Umeda Sky Tower. Now Umeda Sky Tower entrance fee, again the link will all be in description below. We spent quality time about 2 to 3 hours here, and we saw sunset from top. I think it was 30 or 32nd floor. So we saw the sunset, and it was very pleasant, very beautiful, and we totally enjoyed the experience of this Umeda Sky Tower. It was a bit touristy, and there was a lot of rush. To enter the Sky Tower itself, it took around 1 hour plus 2-3 hours. So once we were done with day number 5, so day number 5 after tower, we went to Dotonbori. Now Dotonbori is the biggest, probably the food street area in all of Japan. And there are more than 1,000 stalls in Dotonbori for you to have food, and the real food experience is here, guys. So if you're a vegetarian, if you're a non-vegetarian, if you're a vegan, there is options for everyone. There is tofu available if you're a vegan, if you do not eat dairy products. There is wide range of food available for anyone and everyone. So again, we went to Dotonbori all the 3 days. We were in Osaka. I'll just come to that. So day 5, end your day 5 with going to Dotonbori, which is the most amazing place. You get hell good of ramens, you get brilliant sushis, and all the Japanese food that you're expecting. So day 5 complete. Day number 6, we went to a day tour called Amano Hashi Date, and this was one of the most favorite day trips of all of Japan, guys. So this day trip, Amanashi Date and Funaya Kyoto day trip, basically it's a Kyoto day trip with all the famous touristy places in Amanahashi Date and Funaya area, and we enjoyed to the core. And you also can experience the famous cycling in this particular day trip, and it was a fascinating experience, guys. So trust me, this was the most amazing experience of Amanahashi Date and Funaya day trip. And the main reason was going here for also the views, guys, and also the cherry blossom. Of course, the cherry blossom there, the cherry blossom trees there, and also the view from Amanahashi Date was simply breathtaking. There are few activities like cycling, as you can see on my screen if you want to do. This is all new experience. There is a cable car which goes 2 levels up to Amanahashi Date, and also there is a few other activities that if once you go to Amanahashi Date, you can experience itself. And once you go there, not only this viewpoint, you also get to see Nyoirinji Temple and Ine fishing village, which is equally beautiful, and you can see old Japanese views. So when you think about Japan, when you think about the old Japan, you have those houses, wooden houses with those shape, and when you walk down the alleys, you can see those houses, how beautiful they look, and there are hardly people there. You can stop, you can take photos, videos, etc. So this day trip was completely worth, in my opinion. And day number 6 complete. After that, again we went to Dotonbori. Remember, when you go for a day trip, it will be like 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. You will be arriving very late in the city, and you will be a bit tired. So if you have if you have so much of energy, you can visit food stalls, because most of the attractions in Japan get closed by 4:30 or 5 p.m. So day 6 complete. From day 7 I'll continue in my next video, guys, because this video is already 20 minutes long and I don't want to make this too longer. So consider this like a part 1, and part 2 I'll try to release it as soon as possible. In part 2 we'll talk about what is the overall cost of the entire trip, and I'll also link all the day trips in the description below. Please do check out and please do book through those links, because I've compared those links from different websites and these are the cheaper. On top of that, you will also be eligible for additional 5 to 15% discount. So I hope this itinerary was very helpful. Stay tuned for part 2. I will start preparing part 2 and release it as soon as possible. I hope this video was very helpful on your next Japan trip. I'll catch you guys in my part 2 video.